I did it, guys. We completed Hajj. We just did the farewell tawaf. What an experience it has been. We decided to do our stoning literally just after Fajr on the last day because we wanted to get out of Mina as soon as possible to avoid any congestions. And obviously we were not the only people with the same idea because pretty much everyone went at the same time. However, it went smoothly. And if you have any issues with noise, I would highly recommend getting yourself headphones or earplugs because it can get very noisy and it's a buzzing noise that can be actually annoying inside the Jamarat area. And please throw your rubbish in the bins because we threw so much rubbish on the floor and it's just a shame. We got the bus around 10 o'clock to take us to Mecca, and as you can see, so many more buses are coming in to pick people up, and Mina is getting emptier and emptier by the hour. Alhamdulillah, we ended up on the coach parking lot, and then we took the small bus that took us into the Haram area where we walked to get into the Haram. And I absolutely love how the security guards are spraying water because it was so hot and it was actually really relieving to have like people spray you with water. The Tawaf area was pretty empty and I'm glad we went just about 11 o'clock. I think we arrived and we did Tawaf there. It is hot. Get yourself an umbrella. Put your sunscreen, but you will be fine. And may Allah reward this guy because he was giving Zamzam water as if it was gold. And I absolutely loved it. It was such a nice closure of our Hajj. Back onto the coaching parking area, and that's it. Hajj done. I did it, guys. We completed Hajj. We just did the farewell tawaf. What an experience it has been. Like, gosh. Tiring, especially the past 2 days were very tiring because I got sick and I just wanted to go home. Alhamdulillah, it's complete now. And what an experience it's been. Inshallah, I will be sharing more once I can recuperate and process and put my thoughts into an order. And then inshallah I'll say, because it was so hot and it was obviously so busy, and yeah, alhamdulillah, we did it. Once everyone was on the bus, we started making our way to Jeddah, and this was our Hajj. We arrived in Jeddah about 5 o'clock and we were just waiting for our driver. But this is a Hajj as a local. If you are staying in Mecca, you will be going to your hotel or to Medina after that. Assalamu alaikum, and I'm here, the Muslim travel girl, and as you saw, I completed my Hajj, alhamdulillah. This is part 4 of the Hajj series and it kind of concludes my vlog time because of course I went for Hajj. It was only for 4 minutes or 5 minutes. I didn't realize it was only this long, so I thought what I'm going to do is kind of give explanations of a little bit more of the Hajj process, how it started, how I did Hajj, because I received so much positive feedback, but also received so many questions. And I am going to do a Q&A later on as part 5 because I have so many questions and so much I can add and answer. But I'm going to keep this video kind of short, to the point of exactly my experience of Hajj. I did mention in the video that I found it overwhelming and I had to put my thought process and my thoughts in order before I kind of translate that to you guys, inshallah, for those who are going for Hajj this year or next year or years after, to kind of have as a reference of my experience and potentially what you can expect from your own Hajj. Number one, for me, because I got a lot of comments about my camp and what camp I was in. As I mentioned in part 1, I was in a Saudi camp with a lot of Arabs. So basically, we only went for the 5 days of Hajj because we went as locals, as residents of Saudi Arabia. My husband at the time worked in Saudi, so we had residency. And one of the purpose of us accepting that job was literally because I was hoping we can do a Hajj for cheaper. Now, when I say cheaper, we actually paid the same amount of money that we would have paid from the UK, but we paid it only for the 5 days. So basically, in effect, we saved money because we didn't go for the 10 or 2 weeks that usual Hajj packages are, but we only went for the 5 days. But in reality, we paid the same amount of money that anybody else would pay. So, and that's one of the things that it really kind of is frustrating, because people think the Saudis pay less. In reality, they do pay less, but we also don't have any hotel stays in Mecca and Medina. We don't do any ziyaras. We don't have any imams with us that can help us. Apart from if you have a local imam, like we had a friend of ours who was an imam, that my husband asked several questions because I did get sick. And another question was like, why did I get sick? Basically what happened I got dehydrated severely because I didn't want to eat and I only drank a lot. Well, I only drank electrolytes and vitamin C to kind of keep up my strength. But what happened is I didn't eat a lot, and I tried eventually after day 2, when I saw the situation of the toilets in our camp, that I could not wait 45 minutes each time to go to the bathroom when I drink 2-3 liters of water a day. And then I kind of stopped drinking water, and then I got really dehydrated, and I just could not complete one of my stonings. So I did the first and I did the last. I didn't do the second one. But because I had already done Arafah, and I had already done everything else that was like the major steps of Hajj, we asked, and it was okay, and it was permissible for my husband to actually do the stoning on my behalf because I was unable to do it. Because it's a minor step. I'm not a scholar. This is what we were told. This is what we went with, inshallah, and Allah knows best. But that's one of the reasons why I got dehydrated. And that brings me to toilets. Toilets are a contentment when it comes to Hajj. And toilets, no matter your camp situation, like I was in a VIP or a luxury camp or whatever you consider it, and we still had only about 20 or 30 toilets for women. Men did not have the same problem. They had so many more toilets. Sometimes I was very tempted to literally go to the men's side because there were a pair of toilets that were always empty, apart from like prayer time. And those should have been women's, basically, because women definitely need more toilets than men. And the thing with our specific camp, I don't know how other camps are, but I would assume they're similar, is that the shower and the toilet were in the same place. So if somebody was showering for 20 minutes, but you only needed to use the bathroom, you had to wait 20 minutes for someone to finish their shower before you can use the bathroom. And I don't know about women, but we're not very considerate of each other when it comes to that. So anyways, I ended up getting sick because of this whole situation. And I almost fainted literally in the bathroom. It was the scariest moment because I was like, I'm in a group with women. I did not speak Arabic. I'm like, how my husband's going to find me that I'm like fainted in the bathroom? And the heat of the showers, because it was warm water, like during Hajj time and when it's hot in Saudi, there is only one water temperature and it's hot. There is no cold. So don't expect cold water from the bathroom tubs. It's going to be hot water. Now, that's how it is in the camps. So be prepared that toilets are kind of an issue, no matter your camp. The other thing that I want to mention is in Muzdalifah and in Arafah, toilets were the same. In Arafah, I did not have showers. We only had toilets and we were like on the ground toilets. So be prepared for that. One of the things that really helped me is just getting like those scrunchies, like, you know, that you clip your hair with. So I would have a hair clip and I would clip my abaya and my dress so they don't get wet. And I would just clip them properly together so then I don't have to hold them and manage water everywhere, because for some reason people use a lot of water everywhere and get wet myself. So that kind of really helped me, and that's a tip. In Muzdalifah, the toilet situation again was bad. I feel no matter your Hajj, like inshallah, toilets are not the best option. So just be prepared for that. It takes a lot of strength. One of my biggest things is on Arafah day, there is no Hajj without Arafah. And I do mention that in my video of Arafah, but make sure you don't talk to anyone. Just pray your du'as. It's literally from Dhuhr to Maghrib, and don't talk. People were sitting and chit-chatting and for me, it's like, this is literally the best time. And the best advice I can give you is just do not talk. Just do your du'as. Because after it's finished, obviously you're still in Hajj, your du'as are accepted, but this is prime time. Like, yeah. You could go out to Mount Arafah. A lot of people went. I personally didn't because it was extremely hot. I didn't want to get overheated, but you can't do that. I just stayed around my tent. And again, if you've watched the video, the AC broke. It was extremely hot as well. Another thing I want to mention, because I don't have sensory issues. However, it was very helpful from someone, was the fact that it gets sensory overload. So maybe get yourself earplugs if you suffer with like sensory overload. And you want to peace and quiet, or get yourself headphones that are not noise cancelling, because it's very busy. People are talking, everybody's screaming, everybody's chatting, and especially in Jamarat, when you go, there is a buzzing noise, and I left it in some of my videos for you to hear, but it's extremely loud. So that's another thing. So after we came from Arafah, we went to Mecca. We did the walk to Mecca and then back. We rested for the day, and then we basically did our last Jamarat, which was at nighttime. And then the following day, we left probably about 10 o'clock. We wanted to go really early. We had the option to wait until the afternoon, but because my daughter was in the UK with my mom, we had to catch a flight basically on the 30th of June. So we finished on the 29th, and on the 30th we caught our flight. So on the 29th of June, I still remember it, we went early in the morning. We went around 10 o'clock, and it was very hot at 10, 11 o'clock when we arrived to Mecca. But basically we had packed all our bags from Mina. We took the coach that was available at that time, and we went to Mecca to do our farewell tawaf, which is the last tawaf. So our group could have the option, because we did it, the different Hajj options you have. The one we were doing, you could have combined the Hajj tawaf, I believe it's called, and the farewell tawaf, but we decided to split them. So that's why we walked to Mecca, and then we did the farewell tawaf, which is the one you say bye to the Kaaba. Usually, if you are staying, I believe, during your Hajj, like if you have extra days in Mecca, you do it just before you leave Mecca. But since we were leaving Mecca on that day from Mina, we had to do the farewell tawaf. So the coaches picked us up, dropped us, and then we went and we did our Hajj tawaf, with our farewell tawaf. And that was it. We literally finished after that, and we went back to the coach, and we drove back to Mecca, where we went to our house. We picked our bags, and like at nighttime we had a flight to catch for the London. But the whole process for us took five days basically. But it was intense, because some days were very busy and other days were very slow. Like there is a lot of waiting on Hajj, whether you're in your bus or you're waiting to, for the time to kind of slow down so you can go. And if you have watched my video of how to prepare for your Hajj, you will know, because I talk about that a lot. But there is a lot of time where you can actually relax and make your du'as and read Quran. It's not intense, go for the 5 days. There is a lot of waiting, however. I know some camps, like the British camp where my friends were, or some of my friends were, they had a lot of halakas and a lot of talks with their imams and things like that. This is part of their package. We did not have that. So we didn't have that option. Like there were women who would congregate and do their own halakah, but we didn't have an imam come and, give us talks and things like that. This is part of a package, and that's why UK packages are a little bit more expensive. And ours is kind of like more of a DIY version of them. But yeah, this is literally the 5 days of Hajj. I'm going to do another Q&A with all the questions I have received. And I'm so glad the videos and the series was helpful for you. And I hope, inshallah, it's helpful and beneficial for years to come. In the next series, I'm going to talk about the pricing and, the process and, kids and Umrah and Hajj and things like that. For those who have asked, I have so many questions to answer, inshallah. But until next time, Assalamu alaikum.